Let's talk about the unfiltered side of being a virtual assistant. Yes, I know that working from home can seem glamorous. It's amazing for you to be in your pajamas, typing away on your computer, coffee in one hand. You don't have to leave the house. It sounds amazing. It's Instagram worthy, but it isn't always the case. In this video, I'm going to talk about common mistakes that virtual assistants make and how you can avoid them so you can grow a profitable virtual assistant business and not burn out in the process. So let's get started. The first mistake is starting with a wrong mindset. Most virtual assistants see themselves as employees rather than business owners. I have spoken about this before again and again on my channel, but this is something that has to be said often. When you start out as a VA, you are not an employee. You are a business owner. So you don't have to neglect certain aspects of your business, and you don't have to sit waiting for instructions from your client. If you have one client only, you don't get to be comfortable working with only them. You have the liberty to work with as many people as you can. So don't get wind down by one client and give them all your time and even just say, oh, they have not sent me any particular task. I can't even do any other things. I can't research. I can't find ways to market my business. No, no, no. This will tie you down as a VA. You are a business owner. You have to think about how much income do I want to make? How many people do I want to reach out to today? You always have to think as a business owner, because as a virtual assistant, you are an independent contractor. You are not an employee, especially if you're working freelance. Don't get tired by working only for one person. Don't sit around waiting for instructions from a client. You have to be proactive. How am I going to grow my virtual assistant business? How much money do I want to make every quarter, every month? So how many clients do I have to work with? You have to think outside of the box to thrive as a virtual assistant business owner. Mistake number two that majority of virtual assistants make is accepting every job or client. You have to be selective with the people that you work with. You have to consider yourself in terms of making a selection. What time zone do you want to work with? Do I want to work in EST time? Do I want to work UK time? Do I want clients from Europe? Do I want clients from the Philippines? Do I want clients from the US? How much money do I want to earn? If this client is offering me $5, yet my rate is 25, is this the kind of person I want to work with? You have to be very selective. Not every client you have to take. Also, what is your capability? Can you work with 10 clients? Personally, for me, I tend to work with 4 to 5 clients. That's the sweet spot for me. Anything more, your girl is tired. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. So I know what I'm capable of doing as a VA. I don't get to work with a million people and scramble and not have time for other aspects of my life. You have to be selective. Also, even in the field the client is in, do I want to work with people in healthcare? I am not a medical VA, and I'll not find myself vouching for jobs in the medical aspect because I don't have any understanding about that field. I don't know the jargon. I don't know what they're talking about. I will be very naive at the job and eventually may get fired. So I don't have to work with every client as a virtual assistant. I need to be selective, but also consider myself. What are my capabilities? How much money do I want to earn? What time zone do I want to work in? You need to be selective as a VA because not every client is a good client, and you don't want to find yourself burnt out in the process with managing a million clients around the world. So be selective as a virtual assistant. The third mistake is not investing in your knowledge. I've said this again and again. You don't need a degree to become a virtual assistant. You don't need a degree if you want to work remotely. Majority of times, you need an understanding of the tools and systems that business owners use. Because remember, you're going to be their second pair of hands. So you need to know how to run their businesses as they cater for other aspects of it. But if you're not growing in your knowledge, you're not reading about different tools, you're not watching tutorials, you're not trying them out, you're gonna get stuck. Because if you want to grow and maybe become a social media VA and you have been an admin VA and you don't want to learn about tools like Later, Planoly, scheduling tools, what are people using right now? You don't want to design in Canva. You get stuck at the level of an admin. And yet maybe you'll be thinking, if I add content creation, supporting people with their social media by creating content for them in my services, maybe I'll earn more money. But if you're not willing to learn the tools, the systems, you get stuck. So you need to increase in your knowledge. Be very proactive, create a self-education plan. It's not easy. I have to be very honest. It's not easy because learning new things as adults is something that we're a bit hesitant to do. I struggle with learning a new skill myself, but I have to tell myself about the benefits of learning this new skill, learning this new tool. It's going to enable me to earn much more money than what I'm earning right now. So why don't I skill up? You need to invest in your knowledge as a virtual assistant, especially if you want to venture into a new field. So get started right now. Create your self-education plan. Use ChatGPT. Tell ChatGPT, this is what my schedule is like, and I want to learn this particular tool. How can you create for me a schedule where there is time in my calendar for me to skill up? You need to really do this as a VA because you don't want to get stuck just being in one niche and earning the same amount of money for the rest of your life. Mistake number 4 is working for free for extended periods of time. You know me, you guys, if you be on my channel, you know that I am the queen of pro bono work. Pro bono work has opened so many doors for me as an individual. I would always approach somebody, maybe in a Facebook group, make a post and say, hi, my name is Joy. I'm a virtual assistant and I support clients in these aspects. I note down the services that I offer and I'm willing to do pro bono work in exchange for a testimonial for this period of time. So I note down, I say, okay, if anybody is interested, you can send me a message. And people would message me. But I would always do this for not more than 3 months. 3 months was my cap. The longest, if someone was to ask me if they want to do pro bono work, was 6 months. Also, if you are just doing a one-off project for a certain period of time, that's another way you can try out pro bono work. But if you're getting started and somebody is like, oh, so this person is new, I want to work with them for over 2 years for an extended period of time. That's not good. That is just beyond the required time that someone would do pro bono work or work for you for free. You have to think about it like, how much time am I spending actually working with this individual for free? Maybe I would even go and find a client who is willing to pay me a certain amount of money. So have a limit. For certain people, it can be 2 weeks. For others, it can be 1 month. For other people, it can be 3 months, 6 months, but I don't advise anything more than 6 months. After 6 months, if you've been working pro bono, trust me, you can get a paying client because now you understand the ins and outs of the job that you're supposed to do, and you have this experience. You have a good word from this client who you have been working for pro bono. Trust me, that's enough for you to get a paying client. So don't work for extended period of times. I don't want to hear someone say, I've been doing pro bono work for 3 years. Excuse me, 3 years, mansions are being built. You should have already built your mansion as a virtual assistant. You should have your own workspace set up by that time because you have a paying client. So don't work for extended period of time. Have a limit, and after that limit, whether the client wants to hire you or not, the most important thing is you have the experience, you have their good word, gather it and go and look for a paying client. Mistake number 5 that I tend to see happening a lot is chasing the shiny objects. So let's say maybe Pinterest is now the thing that's in right now, and people are becoming Pinterest VAs, but you have been an admin VA and it's something you're comfortable with doing, then you drop admin and then go and become a Pinterest VA. You drop your clients that you're working with, you run over to Pinterest, you learn the ins and outs of Pinterest, you learn the tool and start looking again for Pinterest clients. Now we are still on Pinterest. Pinterest has been the thing for a couple of months or years. TikTok has come into the picture right now. You know what? Let me become a TikTok VA. Let me venture into TikTok. Guys, relax. Like, relax. Really, really, like, take a breather. You just need 2 or even 1 service. For me, I have 3. 3 is my sweet spot. You have to be known for a couple of things in the field. You don't drop this thing and then jump over to the next thing. Just like it took you time to become an admin VA, to get the clients that you want to work with, it's going to take you time when you're venturing into a new field. So that's something you have to put into consideration. So if every time a new field comes up in the virtual assistant world and you drop what you're doing and go on to the next one, you are just starting all over again and it becomes hard. What you can do is gradually add to your services. When I started out as an admin VA, and then I realized, I think I can add my podcast management services to this. I said, you know what? I'm going to become a podcast VA as well. And then I said, I'm good at Canva. I can add content creation into this. Boom. I started adding that. So now when people ask me what I do as a virtual assistant, I say I support business owners in the aspects of administrative work, podcast management, as well as content creation. That's what I'm known for in the field. That's how I help my clients. But I didn't wake up one day, drop the admin, drop the podcast management. Like, you have to do this very gradually. Don't just be jumping into a new field because it's the on thing right now. Another mistake is pricing wrongly for your services or hiding your rates. When you start out as a virtual assistant, you may charge a lower rate than other VAs. It's very common because it's a new field and you want to curb a number of clients. So yeah, it's really okay for you to start at a lower rate, but don't stay there. Don't stay at the $5 VA. You don't get to stay there for the rest of your life. If you stay there, you don't grow. Remember, you're a business owner. You'll be paying for certain tools, certain systems. But if your rate is very low, how are you going to pay for Canva? If you want to have a website with a domain, how are you going to pay for your domain? You need to be able to increase your rates with time. Also, for certain work, you can say, I'm going to offer a retainer. And I've spoken about pricing. I have a video on pricing, and you can go through my channel and see it. And the way you can price your services. Certain work really requires a retainer because if you're going to be charging hourly, you'll be lowballing yourself, and we don't want that. Remember, you're skilled, so we don't want you to lowball yourself. Also, another thing is you don't get to hide your pricing. If someone says to me right now and they're a client and they're like, okay, how much are you going to charge for this particular project? I'll be very transparent with them and say, okay, let me share my price sheet with you. You may not have it on your website or even set it up on your Instagram. That's really up to you. But don't go and meet a client and then you're feeling very hesitant to share their pricing with them. With them, you're saying, oh, you tell me, how much are you going to offer me for this job? No. You say to them confidently, I charge this amount of money for this task or this task. Or, you know what, let's get on a retainer. Don't hide your pricing. Don't hide it. It sounds very shady. Somebody will be very hesitant to work with. Imagine you went to a shop and you ask them, how much are they selling this particular thing? And they're like, how much do you want to pay for it? Oh, you'll be like, okay, what are you guys saying? Are you guys really in business? You need to be very, very certain of your pricing. So reframe it, work on it every day, and remember, it's just a process. As you keep on growing in the industry, so does your pricing. You don't get to lowball yourself for the rest of your life because you will not grow financially, and this will affect your well-being if you are charging very, very low as a VA. Mistake number 7, which I'm very guilty of, oh God, just forgive me, is not working in your business. This happens a lot. This happens when you get a number of clients and you get very comfortable. You're creating content for them, but you're not creating content for your Instagram. Oh, Jesus. You haven't posted on your Instagram for like God knows how many months because you're doing all of this work for other clients. You neglect your virtual assistant business. You're not doing marketing. You're not even getting to these networking communities. It has happened to me again and again. And I know that this can happen to anybody. That's why I'm speaking about this here. Don't neglect certain aspects of your business, especially the ones that make you visible, like posting on your social media. Please, for the love of God, please, please, please tell yourself, if I create content for my client this week, I have to create content for myself. If I do admin for my client, I have to check my admin. If I'm getting into networking rooms on behalf of my client, I need to be networking rooms for myself. You need to be visible for yourself as a business owner, just as you are doing this for your client. So, because most times, if you look at the work that you're doing for your client as a virtual assistant, this is work you need to do for yourself in your virtual assistant business. So don't neglect certain aspects of your business. Please, for the love of God, this will cost you when a client says, hey, so things are changing on my end. I'm not able to work with you. And they will drop you. They'll be very nice. They'll pay your money or whatever. Or they may be scammers and leave you. So what happens? You're back to zero. You have to start again. And this can be hard. So please, I'm talking about this from experience. This one is very, very important. Don't neglect the marketing of your business as a virtual assistant. Mistake number 8 is skipping contracts. In 2025? You don't want to sign a contract or the client is hesitant and then you're like, oh, you know what, let's just start working. No, 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 no. A contract binds you. People sign contracts for everything. Marriage? Huh? People are getting married and they're signing a contract. Then why aren't you signing a contract where money is involved? You need to sign a contract. Even in love, contracts are signed. If it's business, we have a saying here in Uganda about not involving friendship in business. Is it a mekwano business? Something like that. So you need to be very, very hesitant if a client says to you, oh, I don't want to sign a contract. Let's just start working. Guys, please, you need to roll your eyes and immediately like take a step back and say, no, I'm not going to work with you, no matter how close you are. I have had clients who were referred to me by another client, and I always say to them, I'm trusting you because Laura referred you to me. So this is how I work with Laura. I give them the structure of my virtual assistant business and how I work. And if they're not comfortable, I say to them, maybe you need to check with Laura about the way that I do business. So I trust you. There's certain aspects of your business that I will be comfortable with because I trust this other individual. But you also need to be comfortable with me and the structure that I have. So if you send me a contract, I also send you a contract. That's how it works. It's tit for tat over here. A contract binds you guys together. You have perimeters under which you work. And if anybody goes against the contract, you guys can amicably gather and say, hey, so you say that if I go beyond 15 hours per week or per day, depending on how hard you work, you are going to increase the rate to this and this. You need to write that in the contract. Small details that you think are minor, they can become major problems as you work with a client. So have a contract. If they don't send you one, send them one. The ninth mistake is not having a portfolio. A portfolio is proof that you can actually do the job. So when you work for people, especially if you're in the content creation space, I just want to echo that again. If you design for a client, always ask them and say, are you comfortable with me adding this to my portfolio? For me, that's something that's seriously noted in my contract. I said that work that I do for you can be added to my portfolio website. I can add it and put it as part of my samples. So you don't get to put me under an NDA and say, if you design this sort of work for us, you don't get to tell anybody. I'm a bit hesitant to work with clients like that who have those sorts of perimeters. I always like to have a bit of my work to showcase for another client who wants me to do the similar job for them. So you need a portfolio and always set a reminder, maybe weekly or monthly, if you're working with a client for an extended period of time, that you go in and gather these resources. Because if you guys have a bad breakup, that happens. It happens. A client might say, I'm done with you. I didn't like that you made this mistake. Boom, boom, boom. And they remove you out of their Canva. They remove you out of their systems. You're out of their Google Drive. Like they will relinquish access very fast and you're stuck. You're stuck. You're there wondering, oh my God, all the work that I did for this client and I don't have anything to show for it. So be gathering all of those designs, gather them, put them into your Google Drive and add them into your portfolio. You need a portfolio because if you want to get another client, you need to show them, I can do this for this individual, so I can do this for you as well. The final mistake is overlooking social proof. And by social proof, I mean not asking for reviews, not asking for testimonials when you work with a client. You've done amazing work for them. They have complimented you and you're just like, oh, thank you. This is nice, blah, blah, blah. And then that's it. Immediately they compliment you on the kind of work that you have done for them. Just say to them, hold it right there. Are you willing to offer me a video testimonial for this? Are you comfortable with offering a video testimonial? If they say yes, well, go ahead and say to them, you can record the testimonial and send it to me. Or you want to offer me a review on LinkedIn, you reach out to them via the inbox. You can, there's that part on LinkedIn where you can ask people to offer you reviews or testimonials. Boom, you send them a request and they offer it to you. Or do you want to have it written and say, hey, I love what you said about the kind of work that I did for you. I would love to share this on my social media. I would love to share this on my website, wherever it is. Are you comfortable with that? Ask them. And if they say, well, I'm okay with it, I can even add more into this, please gather all the good reviews that you know, because people trust people who have been trusted with other people's businesses. If you want people in the US to work with you, you need to find somebody in the US who vouches for you. That way, when people in the US take a look at your work or wherever the client is in the world, and they're like, if Laura from this particular country can trust her, that means me as well. This is something I can do. I can work with this individual. And you need to brag about your reviews. I beg, put them everywhere on your website, on your social media, create a highlight for it on Instagram. You need to always showcase your reviews, especially when you have done good work. Wait, wait, wait. There's gonna be a time when someone is gonna say thank you. That's the time you go in and say, you know what, I would like a review. So don't overlook social proof. Social proof is very, very important if you want to work as a virtual assistant. So there you have it. Those are the mistakes I hope you avoid as you grow a virtual assistant business, and always have this at the back of your mind. I am capable to do the job that I have been asked to do as a VA. I am skilled in this particular field. I can do this. You have to be very confident, and you need to be very clear about your services. Once you are, opportunities for work are going to come your way. You will apply for different virtual assistant jobs and get them. You have to be very positive if this is something you want to do. Don't be timid as a VA. For the love of God, don't be timid. Be very courageous. If this is a field you want to venture into, it is very profitable. I am testament to this. It's very profitable for you as a virtual assistant to make money in this field, but you need to be very clear, very confident, and approach yourself as a business owner, not just as an employee. If you know anybody who's looking to become a VA or they're a virtual assistant, please share with them this video, and I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Feel free to like, subscribe, and share. I remain the remote chick. I'll be here sharing with you guys about remote work, sharing my insight into becoming a virtual assistant, and I hope that this will be of value to you. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. So maybe you started charging $5 in the beginning, but now you're charging 15, you're 20, 25, 30, whatever your rate is. That's really up to you as a VA. But don't get stuck in one place and say, okay, for me, I'm a $5 client. No, 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 no. You can be whatever virtual assistant you want to be. You don't get to be a $5 VA for the rest of your life. No, I refuse that for you. I rebuke that in the name of God. So you need to always improve on your pricing, and don't hide your rates. Why are you hiding your rates?
I can use ChatGPT to answer that. You can enable ChatGPT on your Mac.
Sorry, Siri, I'm not talking to you.
Okay, I won't.
Please don't make noise. I'm trying to record something right now. Siri really scared me. Ah! Jesus, okay, I need to take him away. That was very scary. No, 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 Siri, I'm not talking to you. Like seriously, like go back, go away. Oh Jesus, this is very scary. Okay. Where was I?